Right. Namaste. We are starting a little early. So we're starting the recording a little early. So I was just talking a little about the power of breath. So people pay so much attention to their food, so much attention to their drink, so much attention to everything else. Very little attention to their breath. Life begins with the first breath. Life ends with the last breath. And during that process, during that period, first breath to the last breath, so much attention on so many things, zero attention to that thing which brought in life and which, after it leaves for the last time, there is no more life. Zero attention to that. What is the power of breath? You can't even begin to imagine because you've not explored it. I have explored it. I may have understood maybe 1% of the power of breath, maybe 1%, maybe not even that much. And even within that 1% that I think I have understood, even that may not be the case, that I think I have understood, I have got so much in return that I'm totally blown. Yesterday I mentioned how I used to have high blood pressure because I smoked 40 cigarettes a day for 20 years. I had COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, serious problem. But because I was doing my pranayam or breath work and different kinds of breath related exercises and so on, luckily things couldn't escalate too much. But a few years ago, I actually gave up high blood pressure medication. Conventional wisdom says once you start on high BP medication, it stays with you for your life. Not only does it stay, the dosage only increases. So you start with the minimum dosage maybe, but constantly, every few years, that dosage will go up. There is nothing you can do about it in most cases. So it keeps rising 25 mg, 50 mg, 2 times 50 mg, 100 mg, 2 times 100 mg, and so on. It just keeps on rising. The reverse happened. It started, luckily, it did not go up, even it didn't have to go higher than the lowest dosage. It stayed there. And then because I was doing my breath work, pranayam, I was able to give it up totally a few years ago. Amazing. Other diseases, fibromyalgia. It's a very painful condition that happens in the shoulders and back, along the back and so on. Sometimes it can stay for life. Breathwork, cured. Constipation, cured. Piles, hemorrhoids in the anus because of wrong lifestyle, because of stress, etc. Hemorrhoids gone with breathwork. ED, erectile dysfunction, gone with breath. So innumerable things that I have been cured with breath. Today, I'm much older. I am on zero medication simply because of the power of breath. And mind you, I feel I have explored only 1% of the power of breath, or even maybe not even that much. And it's given me so much. So if one is able to go deeper into breath, power of breath, explore. See, we go around exploring the rest of the world, the rest of the earth, and so on. But what about our own breath? Why can't we explore that? Your breath is like a torch that shines into every part of your being. So if you start working with your breath, if you start moving with your breath will teach you all that you need to know about your body, your systems, and how to repair them, how to bring them to wellness, and so on. Observe your breath. Start simply by observing your breath. Anyway, so now it's time for our session, and I think now I'll focus on the breath work and less on talk. So yesterday we did the huffing technique, which consisted of 3 parts. The first one was you huff, you take a full deep breath, allow the breath to go to the lowest portion, fill it all the way up, and then you go huff from the lowest point, take your breath up along the spine and throw out as much air as you can. Without inhaling again, relax your belly, exhale again, huff again. So you inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth with a little pressure. How much pressure depends on an individual, depends on his state of health, depends on his condition, and depends on what his body says. If your body is not happy with the pressure you're putting, reduce it. If your body is happy, there's no problem, try to increase it. If your body can take it, great. If your body is not able to take it, then you'll have to reduce the amount of pressure you put. Namaste, Madhuji, welcome. So this is what we are just recapping a little bit of what we did yesterday. So this is what you do with your first part, the huffing technique. In the second part of the huffing technique, you do a little bit of gentle squeeze, lowest portion, then the lowest and a little higher, lowest little higher, still a little higher, and so on. You build it up. So you add that squeezing kind of a sensation up along your spine, and you kind of help whatever is there over there to move out through your sushumna, cleansing the sushumna in the process. You don't understand that, but I'm telling you, this is what is happening internally. Sushumna is getting cleansed. In the third part, what we did was the Krishna's flute maneuver. I call it Krishna's flute maneuver because Krishna is well known for his flute. You know, God Krishna, Lord Krishna, the one who gave us Gita. He is giving every one of us a Gita in our bodies. If we allow that breath to move in without any blockages, without any constrictions, without any hindrances, if that system is able to move Krishna's breath through us, we will also start creating music in a different way, like Krishna. Because now Krishna is playing us. So the magic, the music of life will be exposed or will be expressed through our actions, through our thoughts, through whatever we do in life. So as it becomes better, as it becomes more harmonized, our life will become like an expression of music. So that is why Krishna's flute maneuver. In a flute, there are 7 holes. There are 7 major chakras in our system. If we keep them cleansed, if we keep them cleared, then the music that the system makes will be very good. So that is what we need to do. So in the Krishna's flute maneuver, we do a little bit of squeezing starting at the Mooladhara. How do we do the Mooladhara squeeze? Ideally, just lift the Mooladhara a little. Where is the Mooladhara? In the case of men, it is at the spot between the anal opening and the genitals. It's a very small fleshy spot right at the point where the legs fork out. So between the scrotum and the anus, small spot, that is where the Mooladhara really is. There are other muscle groups in that area connected with the anal opening, connected with the genitals. But when we try to engage the Mooladhara, we try to engage only the Mooladhara, not the anal sphincter muscles or the other muscles in the urinary tract and genitals and so on. I haven't spoken about engaging the Mooladhara really, except during the Krishna's flute maneuver when you squeeze or you raise it a little. So first the Mooladhara, then Mooladhara and the the same spot that we call the perineum. Very good, Priya Gupta ji. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So the perineum is that spot at the where the legs fork out. In the case of women, I'm sorry, I neglected to say that. In the case of women, it's a little higher at the back wall of the cervix. You can do it in online search, you will understand it. Or also, if you're aware of your body, you'll have a good understanding of where your Mooladhara is. It's usually a very sensitive area, and it's a very important area because this is the seat of Kundalini energy. What is this Kundalini energy? Some of you have some awareness, some of you may not have some awareness, but you've heard the term Kundalini expressed. Kundalini is the potential energy. Look at it this way, potential energy. So most people seem to operate at a very low energy frequency, at a very low energy level, because they've not been able to express themselves, they've not been able to explore, or they've not been able to find the resources inside them. So that Kundalini energy is the home of the Kundalini energy is in that area, in the Muladhara. How do you expose? How do you express it? How do you release it? There are many kinds of uh, adhyatmic techniques that help to release the Kundalini, but it is not something that people should focus on. It's not something that people should worry too much about. It's not something that people should go into with their eyes closed, because if you increase too much of that energy but you don't have the right channels for that energy to move, you will end up hurting yourself terribly. You will end up hurting yourself very, very badly, yourself, your people close to you, and so on. So you will make a misery out of your life. So don't mess with your Kundalini. Be aware of it, no problem. Don't mess with it. Don't go for different kinds of programs that help you, or they say they help you with the Kundalini Jagran and so on. What should you do instead? Clear the path. Clear the channels through which the Kundalini needs to move. So what are these channels? There is only one. Who can tell me what is this channel?
Sushuma.
Breath.
No, the channel. Yes, Priyaji, the Sushumna. The Sushumna is the channel through which the Kundalini needs to move. Why is Sushumna the channel through which Kundalini needs to move? Because Sushumna is that channel which connects the Mooladhara and the Sahasrara. See, we are Sanatan Dharma walas, Sanatanis. दो ही तो चीज है, शिवा और शक्ति. दो ही चीज है. These two things comprise everything that is there. Shiva is consciousness, Shakti is energy. ये अपने आप को मिलके कॉम्बिनेशन में इतने तरह के एक्सप्रेशंस हैं इसके, there is, it's endless. But basically just two things. Both these things are available inside you. So when your Shiva and your Shakti combine, you become, or you potentially become the highest possible expression of yourself. So you see, consciousness is not something you can move at will, because consciousness is consciousness. To access consciousness, you have to use Shakti. You move your Shakti. In our lexicon, in our systems, in our adhyatmic traditions, there are so many beautiful ways that these things have been explained. You've heard of Kalima. Everyone has heard of Kalima. What is Kalima? Kalima is raw energy, Kundalini. Raw Kundalini, that is Kalima. But how is Kalima being expressed? Kalima is shown as beheading, drinking blood, going around naked, hanging heads along her, around her body, of people of heads that she has beheaded and so on. Terrible picturization or evocation of Kundalini or energy or Shakti, Ma Shakti. All the gods go to Shiva, bachao, do something, otherwise she will destroy the world, destroy the universe. What can Shiva do? Shiva is everything. He can do nothing. Shiva cannot stop Kali. Shiva has no power to stop Kali, but what can he do? He goes and prostrates himself before Kali Ma. He just goes and lies down. Nothing else. So beautiful. Shiva goes and lies down in front of Kali Ma. Kali Ma puts her foot on Shiva. Ye kya kar diya maine? That is what it expresses. Now, what have I done? Now, Ma Kali Ma's transformation starts. And she moves up, because now she is with her Shiva. That same consciousness changes to become Parvati, the boon giving, सब कुछ देती है. That is what she becomes. Shakti to wahi hai. Anyway, So when this Shakti is there inside you, in its potential form, it's there inside you. Your biggest responsibility is to clear the pathway to Shiva sitting in the Sahasrara. You can clear the pathway by working directly or as much as possible on your Sushumna. The more you are able to clear your Sushumna, the better it will be. Now, think of the Sushumna or cleansing of the Sushumna as, see, there are 72,000 nadis in the body. उनकी जो कुछ भी गंदगी है या whatever detoxing has to be done in all these nadis, they have to be done through the Sushumna. There is no other channel for that. Sushumna is the main channel both to bring in energy and to drain whatever needs to be drained out. जो भी negative चीज आपके अंदर से निकालनी है सुषुम्ना के थ्रू निकलनी है. It runs through all your major chakras. Any problem in the sushumna means there is going to be some problem in some chakra, etc., etc., etc. Any problem in any chakra will have its impact on the sushumna. So all you can do is constantly work on your sushumna. Keep cleansing it, keep cleansing it, keep cleansing it. 1 day, 2 days, not enough. 1 year, 2 years may not be enough. 5 years, 10 years, maybe. But it's a process. As you keep working on your sushumna, as you keep cleansing it, your transformation starts happening inside. Dhire dhire, your own transformation begins. Because now you are pulling out. See, if the sushumna is cleared, cleansed, it is pulling out whatever rubbish is there in the different chakra levels. So when it's pulling out whatever rubbish is there in the different chakra levels, you will obviously bring out some buried stuff over there. Therefore, people who do breath work or people who do adhyatmic practices or people who get involved in some kind of sadhana, उनको पुरानी चीजें धीरे धीरे जल्दी होने लगती है. Because adhyatma means movement of the atma to the paramatma. You have to speed up that movement. Let's speed up our own movement, otherwise this talk can go on endlessly. So you've seen how we've done the huffing technique. Let's do a few rounds of our huffing technique before we come to the second part of our program, which will be the complete yogic breath with the Swaskosh Shuddhi elements. So let's do the huffing technique first. Ease your belly. Learn to keep your belly as relaxed as possible. यदि belly breathing आती है तो बहुत अच्छा है. नहीं आती है तो send me a message. I'll send you a video. If you need more guidance, ask me. I will help you. No problem. I do it for free. No issues at all. There are other programs for which I check, for which I charge. There are some programs for which I charge a lot. But these are some things for which I don't charge. I want everybody to be able to breathe better. I want everybody to be able to get a better control over their life's energies. So these are some areas where I do not charge anyone anything. But for more detailed programs where I have to give more of my time and attention and so on, I charge for those programs. So do your belly breathing. If you don't know, ask me. I'll send you the video and we can practice. We will not spend too much time on belly breathing here. Let's do our let's do our huffing technique of the Swaskosh Shuddhi Kriya. Slow, deep breath, full breath. Fill it up all the way up. And then go. Relax your belly. Don't breathe. Once again. Relax your belly. Don't breathe. Once again. And again. So when you do the huffing, try to do the huffing at the lowest portion, somewhere in the pelvic region, lower abdomen, so that you are like a balloon. You're pushing the balloon or you're squeezing the balloon in the lowest area, and then you are pushing out whatever is there along the sushumna. You don't understand this, I understand this, so I tell people to do it this way, because each time you do something to help your sushumna get cleansed, you are going to help in your overall journey towards your higher self. Your higher self is here. Once again, slow, full, deep breath. And go. Relax the belly. Again. Relax belly. Repeat. Again. One more time. Yet again, in breath. If you've overdone it, take a full breath, wait a moment, and then go again. I'm sorry, yes, same spot we call, yeah, perineum. Correct. Take a full deep breath again and go. In. How many repetitions, how much pressure, how much intensity, that is your choice. Listen to your body, go accordingly. So this is only to recap what we've done yesterday. We won't spend too much time, otherwise you won't have enough time for the rest of what we need to do today. Now, second part, same thing, but with the squeezes in the pelvic region, then pelvic lower abdomen, upper abdomen, up to the chest, more of the chest, squeeze the chest, come even to the throat, and so on. Just build it up slowly. So take a full deep breath. Fuller the breath, the better. जितना भर लेंगे उतना आपकी क्लेंजिंग होगी लंग्स की. पूरा भर लीजिए. And go. Squeeze. Squeeze and higher. And higher. And still higher. And higher. And more. Squeeze the chest. In breath. Feel how the energy is flowing, because you've done this, you've done a certain amount of squeezing, etc. That will change the way the energy is flowing inside you. Once again, full deep breath and go. Relax. Squeeze. Squeeze and higher. Squeeze higher and higher. Some more. Still more. And more. In breath. So this is how you've circulated breath inside your body. Through these squeezes, you are gently dislodging any stuff. 1 minute. You are dislodging like certain phlegms in certain pockets of your lungs and also in your nadis. Yeah, Santoshi.
When you say squeezing, what exactly it means? Is it the physical squeeze or the breath squeeze, or is it the both?
You use your body's inner muscles simply to squeeze. That's it. जैसे मैं बताता हूँ. Let me give an example. For example, if I ask you to breathe out and again, each time you do, there is a little squeezing happening in the abdomen. Yes or no?
Yes,
just as there are muscles in the abdomen which are helping you squeeze, there are similarly muscles in the lower belly, even in the pelvic area. There are subtler or not so obvious muscles over there, not as often used, but they are there. So when you do the squeezes, you are basically employing the muscles in those parts of your body to squeeze whatever is there so that everything starts moving upwards. Why do we need to move it upwards? Because this is the way to expel the phlegm. You cannot expel phlegm through your urine, and in the feces thoda bahut aata hai, but that is in the digestive tract. But phlegm that is connected with your nadis, etc., needs to come out through your sushumna.
But pelvic as well as lower stomach, upper stomach, we can squeeze.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
How
Also
about this
in the
lung?
chest also in the chest area. Try करिए ना. ट्राई
Okay.
करे बिना कैसे मालूम होगा? You try it, you'll do it. And अच्छे से होगा. So when you squeeze it, what happens is, remember what I told you yesterday, your lung is the size of a tennis court. The surface area of your lungs equals a tennis court. That is what, you know, people who've done research on the body and so on have to say, and you'll find it online. So whatever I'm telling you about these things is based on some articles, some pieces, some research done and shared online. Nothing is, most of this is not what I have experienced. When I experience something, I speak about it. This is from my experience. This is what I've noticed. For example, the breathwork techniques that I share, they are based on my own experiences, insights, and understanding, observations, and so on. So once again, slow, deep breath, full breath, fuller the better, and go. Squeeze and higher. Again and again. Again. In breath. I'm sorry. Yeah. So this is what you do with the second part of the technique. Now we come to the powerful Krishna's flute maneuver. What does the Krishna's flute maneuver do? It refines what you have just done. Basically, it's doing whatever you've done in the second part, but it takes it to a deeper level of refinement, because now you are hitting the chakras directly. Why must we hit the chakras directly? The chakras are your endocrine system. This is where your emotional baggage, karmic memory, etc. is all located in these chakra areas. So by cleansing the chakra areas, you are helping to release whatever is lying buried over there, to speed up your adhyatmic progress process, and also to give yourself better health. Because to be able to progress well adhyatmically, you need to have a certain amount of wellness in your body, in your mind as well. Somebody who's ill here or ill in the body, उनका आध्यात्मिक प्रोग्रेस बहुत ज्यादा होगा ऐसा नहीं समझ में आता. थोड़ा बहुत हो सकता है if they do a lot of inner work, if they do a lot of introspection, if they accept their pain, if they accept their difficulties with a certain level of equanimity, तो वहां भी थोड़ा benefit मिलेगा, no doubt. But otherwise, to speed up your adhyatmic journey, you need to be in a certain level of wellness, mentally, emotionally, physically. So when you do whatever you are doing with your breath, etc., you are basically using your pranic, or you're using your energy body, your prana body, pranamaya kosh. The pranamaya kosh is the most neglected, most ununderstood, or misunderstood, or underappreciated aspect of your being. It is your pranamaya kosh that helps you transcend all your levels of stuckness. Your physical body cannot do it. Your mental body cannot do it. And you cannot even reach your Vijnanamaya kosh unless your pranamaya kosh is doing what it needs to do to help you get there. Pranamaya kosh is that part of your being over which is so much easier to have direct control. You cannot control your mind. Tell me something. Have you ever been able to control your mind directly with your mind? Can you say, Kine, I'm not going to think about this. I'm not going to do this. Can you do it? You can't do it. Impossible. But if you start focusing on your breath, if you start working with your breath, you can actually change the way your mind is reacting, responding. I've written numerous articles about this. Santosh ji might have seen. I think maybe Madhuji may have also seen. You remember The Unsabotaged Mind? Have you seen that article? Two articles. The Unsabotaged Mind and then The Unsabotaged Mind 2. No? They're there in some of the groups.
I didn't get.
You didn't get it? Is there in some of the groups. Anyway, I'll try and forward
Okay,
them to you.
okay.
So mind, we are all victims of our mind. हमारा सबसे बड़ा दुश्मन हमारा mind है, दूसरा कोई नहीं है. You cannot harm me the way my own mind can harm me. No one in this universe can harm me the way I can harm myself, or the way my mind can harm myself. So my biggest enemy is my mind when my mind is not under my control. If my mind is not under my control, it must be under someone, something's control. If it is under someone, something's control, how can I be sure it's going to work to my advantage? Yeah? So you have to slowly take control over your mind. Breath, befriending your breath, working with your breath is probably the most effective, fastest, best way to start taking control over your mind. So sometimes the analogy I give is, think of your mind, think of your mind with all the emotions as the, the Ratha. In Mahabharata, you have the Ratha. Krishna is driving the Ratha, he's the charioteer. So the Ratha is the mind, with the horses, the senses. How do you control this? With the reins, with the reins, the breath. These are the reins. This is how you control your emotions and your mind. Who is controlling the emotions and your mind? Your higher self, Krishna. So Krishna is the one, when your awareness is there, when you bring awareness into your activities, not your mind, awareness. Now, as you gain control over the chariot of your life, you first gain control over your senses and the mind. Because the senses, the mind, the emotions, they are all interlinked. सब जुड़े हुए. Ego, emotions, mind, senses, ego, सब एक चट्टे बट्टे हैं. They are all working in it together. They should be working to your advantage. They all work against you. Tell me, is it true or not? Your mind, your senses always pull you, almost always pull you in a direction that's going to hurt you. And every time you let that happen, because of a lack of awareness, it ends up creating some level of difficulty for you. Is that true or not? Hannah?
Yes.
It is part of your experience. So that's it. So you have to gain control. There is a resistance always. Priyaji, what do you mean by resistance? What resistance are we talking about?
Namaskar.
Namaste.
Resistance, from resistance, I meant like a fear, or maybe, some kind of, distraction comes into play. Like you wait for that perfect moment, or you feel that you're not good enough, or whatever. There is one feeling that pulls you away from going towards your goal.
ये जो negative emotions है
Yeah.
तो emotions है ना, and they're all working with your mind. Your mind, your emotions, usually negative emotions. How often do we have एक मिनट since शांति से बैठ जाइए और observe करिए. How often do you really have positive emotions? उसका बहुत भला हो, उसका बहुत अच्छा हो, God really bless him. We may say it. वो emotion कितने बार आता है? Really positive emotions, very rare. Come to think of it, almost all our emotions are negative emotions, almost all of them.
Unless
And
we
our,
train them, right? Sorry
unless
to
we,
interrupt.
no problem. Unless
we train them, like we put ourselves in gratitude, or we continuously consciously put ourselves in that positive
yes, to come into that's why gratitude is considered such a powerful practice.
right.
Two things: one is gratitude and forgiveness.
True.
These two things are considered so powerful because they create a certain energy in us which pulls us away from the negativity. Gratitude and forgiveness. Otherwise, most of our emotions are connected with either revenge, wanting to blame others, not taking responsibility for whatever we've done. And if we take responsibility, we even blame ourselves in a negative way. So our emotions are usually working negatively and against us. That's the problem. So first we have to try and reduce the role of these negative emotions. उसको धीरे धीरे शांत कर लेंगे. then we have an open field where we can grow positive emotions, positive ideas, genuinely. That is when our life really begins to flower. That is when we become real agents of positive change within ourselves, around us, and all around. You know? So that is where we need to do. A breath work is probably the best, fastest way to get to this point. Okay, so let's do some more breath work. We will do the Krishna's flute maneuver now. Slow, same full deep breath. Allow the first up. Let it all go. Relax your belly. Now Krishna's flute 1, that means Muladhara. Krishna's flute 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 7. In breath. Sorry. Something needs to come out. So this cleansing that happens when you do a Krishna's flute maneuver, आपने किया नहीं प्रिया जी, मधु जी, आपने नहीं किया? किया? निकला कुछ फ्लेम निकला?
क्या किया? मेरा ना इतना ज्यादा कफ नहीं निकलता है जितना आपका निकलता है, तो
नहीं, मेरा तो फ्लेम, no, my body is kapha type. My body is kapha type, and that is the reason why I have had all these discoveries. If my body was not the kapha type, I wouldn't have gone along the path that I've gone. Because था, करते गया, insights आती गई, clarity आती गई, and मैं deeper जाते गया. So though I've been able to,
गले में थोड़ा सा आता है, बट उसको निकालने जब जाओ तो वो अंदर चला जाता है.
तो दो तरीके हैं. एक तो जब वो आता है तो you do this इस तरह से करके क्लियर कर लीजिए. हाँ हाँ बोल के निकाल दीजिए. नंबर 1. नंबर 2, गार्गल करिए.
अच्छा.
See, because anything stuck here, इसका मतलब विशुद्धि में कोई ना कोई impact आएगा. Vishuddhi is your expression. This is connected with your expression, creativity, higher creativity. There is one creativity at the Swadhisthana, there is another creativity at this spot. You know? So we have to cleanse. Adhyatma is about cleansing. So sometimes, you know, I like to think of myself as an inner Shudra. I'm like a jamadar of the inside. अंदर की cleansing करता हूँ और दूसरों को भी सिखाता हूँ अंदर की cleansing करना. And I take pride in being a jamadar or a shudra. So cleansing is very important. This inner cleansing is extremely important. It is this inner cleansing that you do which will leave you in a spot or in a position where you can actually begin to express your highest self or move towards expressing your highest self. Once again, full deep breath, fuller the better. Relax your body, ease your whole system. Take a full breath. And go. Relax the body. Relax the belly again. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 6. 1, 2, 7. 8. There we go. So sorry. Yeah. But the good thing is 72,000 nadis. 72,000 nadis is a lot of nadis. And all that malba has to come out through your sushumna. So it's a constant process. The more you do, the cleaner it becomes. Yeah, it will keep coming. Let it come. But you are clear. So when your sushumna starts getting cleansed, cleared, widened, it starts impacting so many different areas of your life. आपके आवाज में आ जाएगी. हाँ, मधु जी.
मैं पूछ रही थी कि अभी जैसे मेरा वो जो भी फ्लेम जो आप बोलते हैं वो थोड़ा निकला, बट उसके साथ साथ में थोड़ा यूरिन भी पास हो गया. हाँ
ठीक है, हो
तो
जाइए,
तो
बिकॉज
क्या
हम प्रेशर, तो अच्छा अच्छा,
is it-
let me explain this also. The sushumna connects all the important organs in your body.
हाँ
So now when, because you had that sense of urine passing, it's because now there is an impact coming on your sushumna. Sushumna is getting a little relaxed. No harm in that. Now, as we grow older, most of us, as we grow older, we lose a little control over some of our functions, like urinary function, etc. Sometimes even the defecatory function, थोड़ा थोड़ा control कमती हो जाता है. So you do different kinds of yoga, different kinds of exercise, so that you get more control over your, functions. वो आ जाएगा धीरे धीरे करते करते. However, cleansing of your sushumna is central for overall health at every level: physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, spiritual. सुषुम्ना की क्लेंजिंग एकदम सेंट्रल चीज है. इसके बिना योर आध्यात्मिक प्रोग्रेस कैन नॉट टेक स्टीम. नॉट ओनली योर आध्यात्मिक प्रोग्रेस in any aspect of your life until, अच्छा you see what are these singers, ये जो singers होते हैं ना, singers, actors वगैरह जो होते हैं, इनको इतना फेम मिलता है, ये सब मिलता है, notice the quality of their voice. एक अलग तरह की एनर्जी होती है उनकी वॉइस में. The sushumna is open. That is why they are able to sing so well. And you will notice people who sing well, or people who are so artistic in their things, उनकी लाइफ एक अलग तरह की होती है, एक अलग तरह की मैजिक होती है उनके लाइफ में. Things seem to happen so easily for them because they have access. See, they are probably brushed yogis. They may not have done any yogic work in this life, but they must have done some yogic work in their previous lives. So they have reached a certain amount of cleansing and so on and so forth, certain amount of yogic progress, adhyatmic progress. So they get these results. अब वो results से फंस के रह जाएंगे, then और नीचे आ जाएंगे, तो they'll have to start again. But यदि already है और उसको अच्छे से use करें, there are people who've done it, even though they have reached a certain amount of fame or goodwill and wealth through their acting or singing, but they have stayed connected to their adhyatma. I think Lata ji is one great example. She did not go crazy with her fame. She didn't go around, you didn't see her in weird kind of parties, rave parties, and doing all kinds of nonsense stuff, etc. अपना गाना वाना गाती थी, अपना चैरिटी वगैरह करती थी, बाकी अपनी जो साधना करती थी. लास्ट तक गाते गाते कितनी सुंदर आवाज में गई. एक अलग ही लेवल था, एक अलग ही
मैं
आध्यात्मिक.
चीज पूछूं राजेश जी, जैसे मैं ना पेंटिंग्स बनाती हूँ,
जी
तो पर मैंने रियलाइज किया लाइफ में कि बिकॉज माय सुषुम्ना वाज नॉट ओपन एंड आई वाज मेंटली डिस्टर्ब्ड, और मैं थोड़ा सा इमोशनली डिस्टर्ब्ड रहती थी, तो माय पेंटिंग्स गॉट अफेक्टेड एंड काफी कुछ उसमें प्रॉब्लम्स आई. बट
जी
नाउ आई एम गेटिंग बैक टू इट. हाँ, तो जब भी मैं पेंटिंग बनाऊं या कुछ करूं, तो ये प्रैक्टिस करने के बाद फिर बनाऊं तो उससे ज्यादा इफेक्ट होगा मेरे वर्क में.
ओवर टाइम, एक दिन में नहीं मालूम पड़ेगा. Over time, as you start working, as your sushumna starts becoming more active, it will definitely impact. It will have a good impact on you. Your creativity will improve, your expressions will improve. But cleansing is important. Cleansing करते रहिए. So now, I think we need to get to the second part of our program, which is the complete yogic breath. In the complete yogic breath, again, there are 3 segments. Same, normal, then with some squeezes, and then with the Krishna's flute maneuver. Same thing. So what is the complete yogic breath? Keep your belly relaxed. Let your breath collect in the lowest part. जैसे पहले भी किया आपने. Same thing. Allow the whole collection of breath to happen. Full breath in. Stop for a moment. And then when you allow the exhale to happen gently from the base of your spine up along the spine. Here I'm going to share a very interesting thing with you, but after you've tried it a few times. एक बार करिए. Take a full deep breath. एकदम पूरा ऊपर तक भर लीजिए. Lowest से भरते भरते ऊपर तक भर के लाइए. पूरा भर लिया. Wait a moment. Allow the exhale from the base of the spine. Let the breath move up along the spine. No active exhale. What did I say? Allow the exhale. Let the breath move up. All gone. Stop. Wait a moment. Continue. Same thing without breathing. All gone. Relax the belly. Continue some more. Once again, let it go. Take a breath. And when you do these techniques, if you keep a little smile on your face, it'll help. There is a very interesting connection between your smile and the Sushumna. If you do breath work, you will start noticing when you smile, your breath feels a little smoother. Your breath feels a little easier. देखिए notice करिएगा कभी. अभी शायद नहीं मालूम पड़े, but over time notice. When you wear a smile on your face, your breath will feel a little easier. There is a direct connection with your Sushumna. Once again, take a full deep breath. Hold it a moment. Allow the exhale. All gone. Stop. Wait a moment. Allow the exhale to continue. Once again, let it go. And again. So 4-5 cycle kar diya, take a full breath. So this is what you are doing in the complete yogic breath. You are not exhaling, you are not huffing with your mouth. You are allowing your breath now to move up along the spine. Now I'm going to share something very, very interesting. It's part of my Lotus opening program. It's a very subtle thing that happens. Some of you may be able to do it. Some may take a little time. Doesn't matter. So what you do is take a full deep breath. Take a full deep breath. Wait a moment. And when you allow the exhale from the base of your spine, what you do is base of the spine, there is a tailbone. वो थोड़ा सा अंदर की तरफ curve होता है. The tailbone curves in towards your anal opening. Anus की तरफ में वो tailbone जाता है. So just at the end of the tailbone, allow a gentle dilation, as if आपने कुछ हल्का सा खोल दिया. जैसे when we go to pass urine, we allow a little expansion, a little dilation, which allows urine to pass. Similarly, when we go for defecation, we allow a little expansion, which allows defecation to happen. So similarly, at the end of the tailbone, allow a very gentle, not in the anal opening, and just behind the anus. At the end of the tailbone, allow a gentle opening and let your breath move up. Notice the change in the quality of your breath. If you allow this to happen, see how your breath changes. Try once again. Take a full deep breath. Wait a moment. Allow the exhale with the opening. All gone. Wait a moment. Relax. Continue with the opening. Once again. And again. Take a full deep breath. Wait a moment. Allow the exhale with the opening. With and through the opening. All gone. Stop. Wait a moment. Allow it to continue with the opening. And again. Again. And again. In breath. Okay. So did anyone notice a change in the quality of the breath as it moved up along the spine?
Yeah, the mind stopped working and we were more focused on the breath. So,
Okay,
you
but
know,
was there any
and
difference
it,
in the quality
yeah,
of
it
the
was
breath?
very easy. It felt like
Easier. That's right. So the breath that moved out with that opening felt a little easier, a little smoother, a little subtler. Is that right? Or किसी को experience? Priya ji, did you notice anything? Don't say it just for the sake of saying it. Only if you experienced it.
Yeah, I felt that when I try to breathe deep, otherwise consciously, like doing belly breathing, then I feel somewhere it's getting stopped and I can go deep, but it's not happening. But this time, when I was conscious about the tailbone, that consciousness of going deep wasn't there, but still the breath went deeper than the regular times.
Okay,
And
but
also the exhalations were deeper.
and the exhale, did the exhale feel a little smoother, a little
Yes,
easier?
because I
Okay,
was not trying at all and it was happening on its own. Because otherwise, I try a lot and it doesn't happen like that. I
okay,
mean,
great, very good, very good. Santoshji, any change in the quality of the breath?
No, sir, I didn't notice anything as of.
Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. If you didn't notice, I'm happy. At least you shared your honest response. Anandji,
So not really.
not really, doesn't matter, very good. The other Priyaji, but I don't think she can talk, or I don't know if she can, well, whatever. I hope she can hear anyway. So anyway, once again, take a full deep breath. Allow the exhale from the base of the spine with the tailbone open. Gentle dilation. Relax the belly. Again, let it continue. And again. So this is the second part with the complete yogic breath. You allow the breath to go in. No, sorry. This is the first part of the complete yogic breath. Now the second part, you will do the same thing, but you will add a little squeeze in the pelvic area, lower abdomen, and so on, like you did in the huffing technique, but with a little squeeze. So let the first breath leave as much as wants to go. With the second exhale, add a little squeeze, lowest portion, lowest and higher, lowest higher, a little higher. Add that. Continue as you go. So take a full deep breath. Allow the exhale. जितना निकलता निकलने दीजिए. Relax your belly. Continue with a little squeeze in the lowest area. Relax the belly. A little more. Relax. A little more squeeze. Keep taking the squeezes higher and higher and still higher. One more time. In breath. Full breath. Relax. Continue to exhale up the spine. All gone. Relax your belly. Continue the exhale with the squeeze. One more time. Let's get the squeeze higher and higher. Higher still. And more. In. So over time, notice the change in the quality of your breath. If you notice it, very good. If you don't notice, even then, very good, because something is happening inside anyways. Yes, yes, Priyaji.
exactly what is happening when we are squeezing? Are we like जैसे हम कपड़ा निचोड़ते हैं तो जो water comes out, whatever. So is that the same phenomena or what?
Beautiful way to say it. Very similar.
Okay.
Because after all, the whatever is jamaud or whatever is stuck in different parts of your anatomy or your nadi system, how do you work it out? So I have another technique which I call the Hanuman master breath. So I think, and of course, the Sushumna which you are accessing now is also, it also needs to be accessed in the Hanuman master breath. The Hanuman master breath is what I think of as the vacuum cleaner of the Nadi system. So in the Hanuman master breath, the way I teach you to do your breath work it acts like a vacuum cleaner. It just sucks out whatever is there in the different nadis. But remember, 72,000 nadis. और ऐसा नहीं है कि खाली whatever rubbish or whatever needs, whatever toxins are there are only what was produced in the past. We continue to produce toxins. They continue to need to be expelled. So it's an ongoing process. So when you do the Hanuman master breath, as you go deeper into it, and it's a very integral part of the raise your vibrations program, which is a program which is directed at helping people overcome their mental, emotional issues so that they can direct the quality of their life towards their highest potential. Santosh ji has joined the program, but I have not been able to start the program yet. Hopefully, we should be able to do it sometime soon. But anyway, so this is that is part of the Hanuman master breath. What we are
राजेश जी,
doing.
मैं एक
जी,
पूछूं,
जी.
आप जो इतने सारे टेक्निक सिखा रहे हो, तो इसमें फिर देन हाउ डज द पर्सन अंडरस्टैंड कि किस दिन क्या करना है? बिकॉज अभी
Okay. So अभी क्या कर रहे हैं आपने? अभी we are working on the Swaskosh Shuddhi Kriya. What is it? What is the goal of Swaskosh Shuddhi Kriya? Of course, the goal is to cleanse the lungs, but the nadis are an integral part of the lungs. क्योंकि lungs में जो आ रहा है और जो निकल रहा है वो नाड़ियों का ही तो खेला है. तो lungs की cleansing के साथ साथ थोड़ी नाड़ी की cleansing आवश्यक है. So my focus is on the Sushumna because Sushumna is the main nadi in the body. To cleanse your system, to even cleanse the, आप देखिए जब आपको जुकाम लगता है ना, जब सर्दी लगती है ना, सबको लगती है ना सर्दी कभी कभी. What do we normally do? We do ऐसे करके टांगते हैं कुछ अंदर, ऐसे करके टांगते हैं ना, and something comes up, some kind of phlegm or something comes up, and then sometimes we spit it out or sometimes we do something, and that helps us to breathe better. So this is all stuff that is stuck in the Sushumna. Mera nahi aa raha because I've cleansed my Sushumna to so much, to such an extent, that when I do this, nothing happens. Nothing is happening. Because I've been working on my Sushumna for years now. So abhi nahi malum pad raha. But if I don't do it, if I let it go for some time, for a few months, like beach mein COVID ho gaya tha, so naturally some problems started collecting. So then maybe if I had done it at that point of time, thoda hota kuch. So this is because your Sushumna is your major nadi. Yogi log to pehle they used to spend years working on the Sushumna. Decades they would work only on the Sushumna. We are lucky, or I think we are lucky because Hanumanji has shown techniques. Hanumanji is my Ishtadeva. He's the one who guides. Pavan Sut Hanuman, the son of the god of wind. That's Pavan Sut Hanuman. He is my guide. He's my, he's my inspiration. He's my everything. So, मैंने जो भी सीखा, जो भी समझा, it is a blessing from Hanumanji. So that is why I call it the Hanuman master breath. I don't call it the Rajesh Kanui breath. I call it the Hanuman master breath. मेरा क्या, ये तो उनका दिया हुआ है, तो उन्हीं का नाम है ना. Similarly, there is a thing which I call the Hanuman money breath. Some of you have joined that also, but उसको भी शुरू करना है because Hanuman ji की दी हुई clarity है, तो उनका नाम. Anyway, so you have to do the cleansing of your lungs and your Sushumna in particular. This is your Swaskosh Shuddhi Kriya. Madhu ji, to answer your question. Raise your vibrations program. You do slightly different breath work. You move it, you approach it differently. Breath तो ultimately एक ही है. Breath तो यहीं से जाएगी, अंदर जाएगी. अब इसको किस तरह से अलग अलग तरह से एक्सप्रेस करना है, लाइक व्हेन यू टेक, आप आटे को लेके कितनी चीजें बनाते हो, है ना. केक भी बना सकते हो आटे का, आप रोटी भी बना सकते हो, आप उसका बाटी भी बना सकते हो. So many things you can make. Similarly with your breath, the way you use your breath, you can make different kinds of dishes for yourself. So the Raise Your Vibrations program uses the breath in a different way with a different goal. So when you do the Raise Your Vibrations program, I teach you what techniques to use towards what end. Tridosha balancing mein, basic thing is again similar, but there are points of departure. There are points of sophistication, if I can use that word, उससे और अच्छा result मिलता है. So anyway, let's continue with our Krishna's flute maneuver with the complete yogic breath. Now what we'll do, full breath, allow the first exhale, let it all leave. With the second exhale, engage the perineum. With the second exhale, perineum, Swadhisthana. With the third, perineum, Swadhisthana, Manipura, and so on. What I will do is I'll call it 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, so that it's easier and it's a little faster. Take a full deep breath.
Do we need to have some focus on those points? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay.
5.
Very good. Yeah. So you have a general idea where the Muladhara is. You have a general idea where the Swadhisthana is. Your Manipura is more or less in the level of your belly button, a little lower than that. That is your Manipura. Your Anahata is, the point where the rib cage meet, that little soft spot over there. That is your basic Anahata, and also uska corresponding point at the back. Vishuddhi is that little pit of the throat. Yeah, ye jo soft portion yahan ka, this is your Vishuddhi. So bring your general awareness here. That is all. Okay.
Fine.
Take a full deep breath. Allow the first exhale with the dilation at the tailbone. All gone. Start with the Krishna's flute 1, but the dilation at the tailbone. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 7. In. Full breath. Allow the exhale with the tailbone dilated. All gone. Relax your belly. Continue with the dilation at the tailbone and the Muladhara. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 7. Again, in breath. So when you do this well, you will notice immediately that your breath feels lighter and smoother. हाँ प्रिया जी कुछ बोल रहे हैं?
Sir, आप जब exhalation कर रहे हैं, you are doing it with a little jerk. I was doing like a softer exhalation. How?
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Right way?
So I see, I've been doing it for a long time. So I feel, I give myself the freedom to use a little extra pressure. That's all I do. So therefore, it might appear as if there is a jerk. There is really no jerk inside. But it's just that, because I'm moving quickly from one thing to the second, so it gives the sense that there is a bit of a jerk. Or maybe there is, I don't know.
Why am I feeling so sleepy suddenly?
Because you are relaxed. Because you are relaxed. And being relaxed is a very good thing. Being relaxed means you are coming to a level of ease, which is a beautiful thing. है ना? चलिए फिर से करिए. Full deep breath. Allow the first exhale. Let it all go. With the dilation at the tailbone. All gone. Relax your belly. Dilate the tailbone. Allow the first Muladhara. Muladhara Swadhisthana. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In. कैसा हो रहा आनंद जी?
Yes, sir.
Doing well?
Fine.
Breath is Breath is feeling lighter.
Yeah, not really still,
Okay,
but
चलिए, कोई बात नहीं.
putting in.
Okay, very good. Who is feeling that the breath is lighter? Who feels a lighter breath? Yeah, Madhuji. Okay, very good. Priyaji, noticing any change in the quality of the breath?
Yes, it definitely is lighter.
Hmm.
But I have this one thing going on in my mind, this calculation, that the amount of inhalation I'm having, if it doesn't suffice up to the or whatever, the seventh chakra. I mean,
Oh. So when you
so
exhale,
what if it ends here? I mean, like that.
doesn't matter. No issues at all.
So
So
we could distribute it into 7. I mean,
you can divide that into 4. You can divide that into 5. No problem.
Achha.
So the first exhale can be Mooladhara Swadhisthana. The second can be Mooladhara Swadhisthana, Manipura Anahata, and so on. You can do a little bit of variation. But the idea is to get a squeeze in those areas so that cleansing happens. And what are we cleansing here? We are directly hitting the Sushumna because we are working at the different chakra levels. You don't even realize it. But this lightness, the smoothness, the lightness of breath is a clear indication that your Sushumna is being worked upon, that it's getting a little cleansed. That is why you are breathing lighter. See, to be able to breathe better, to be able to breathe lighter, it's an amazing experience. Who will understand this? People who have COPD, people who have asthma, or people who have, for example, when you have a cold, when you catch a cold, you are not able to take a good breath with your nose. You struggle to breathe through your mouth. It feels so tiring. It feels so debilitating. It makes you feel the whole energy is gone out. So when you're able to breathe smoother, lighter through your normal respiratory system, it's so beautiful. So to be able to breathe better is one of the best things, one of the best gifts you can give yourself. To give yourself this powerful gift of being able to breathe better, lighter, you have to put in a little effort. है ना? थोड़ा मेहनत तो करना पड़ेगा. People spend so much time making a few bucks. थोड़ा पैसा कमाने के लिए कितना समय निकालते हैं. हर कुछ करने को तैयार हो जाते हैं. But to breathe better, people don't want to work. ऐसा थोड़ी होता. So bring out a little time. Breathe better. Believe me, if the quality of your breath improves, बहुत responsibly बोल रहा हूँ. If the quality of your breath improves, and if the quality of your breath improves substantially, I guarantee you every aspect of your life will improve substantially. I'm making a very responsible statement here. If the quality of your breath improves substantially, it will impact the quality of your life substantially in every area as well. That is how powerful your breath is. You have to put in that effort. Chali, once again.
Actually, I think, even we go into stillness because of this breathing technique,
Yes.
and suddenly the mind becomes still and we go into that meditative state. So should we sit in that meditative state? Or
Absolutely. Whenever you are meditative, it's a beautiful place to be. What happens when you are meditative? Basically, your mind is still. When your mind is still, your breath becomes lighter, your breath becomes smoother, your breath becomes easier. Your whole system is healing. When you are meditative, your breath is smoother, lighter, subtler. The whole system is refurbishing itself. You are preparing internally, your body is getting into a better shape. It's like getting an overhaul. So the more you are meditative, the more easily you become meditative, the better will be the state of your health. So it's always a good outcome. I always encourage anybody who's feeling meditative. If a practice is making you feel a little sleepy, I don't mind. Go ahead, sleep. At least you're being a little more relaxed. No, it doesn't matter. If classroom थोड़ी है कि आपको mug up करके exam देना, ऐसा थोड़ी है. To gain a little more control over your faculties, to still your mind a little more. See, when you still your mind, now your mind is available for you to do what you need it to do. ये लंबा हो जा रहा है program आज थोड़ा, but anyway, we'll continue. Sometimes your mind is like the earth. माटी क्या करती है? if you throw anything in the mati will give it back 100 times, 1,000 times. It is a productive thing. It is a creative thing. It generates more of whatever you have given it. So what have you given? When you put a seed in the mati, what is the seed? The Sadhguru says it beautifully. He says, "Do hi to cheez hai seed mein." Seed contains two things: memory and energy. Seed contains two things: memory and energy. Memory of what it was or what it has been programmed to become. Memory of what its parents, grandparents, great grandparents, etc., etc., they were all like. So it continues to be the same. You change the memory of a seed, the seed will show something else. We haven't come to the point where we can do it. Maybe some of our rishis, munis could. That's why they did things which we find hard to believe. But that is our problem. उन्होंने तो कर दिया. झूठ बोलने वाले तो है नहीं वो. Those rishis were too far ahead to lie about some silly, stupid things only to please their egos. वैसे तो नहीं थे वो ऋषि लोग. I'm sorry. दुनिया उनको माने या न माने, I will accept every single word of those rishis because I know where they are coming from. They are not coming from that, that terrible place of ego or ego afflictions and so on. They're coming from a place of great higher selfness, where they are actually not concerned about their ego. They are not there to show, or they are not. उनको थोड़ी चाहिए कि कोई मेरे को आके शाबाशी दे, अरे वाह तूने तो क्या कर दिया. It doesn't matter to them. उन्होंने किया, उन्होंने एक्सपीरियंस किया. Whether the world accepts it, rejects it, that is for the world to deal with. It is not their problem. उनका एक्सपीरियंस था, उन्होंने शेयर किया. Anyway, so these are the two things. Seed has memory and energy. आपके इमोशंस भी तो वही हैं. Your emotions are also memory and energy. Where do you sow your emotions? You sow them in your mind. You sow your emotions in your mind creates more of those. Now you see why I was saying what I was saying about the mind. Now you see why I was saying what I was saying about the emotions. So if these negative emotions are sown in your mind, naturally your mind will give you a great harvest of negativity. Breathwork is a great way to cleanse these negative emotions, or maybe even to change the DNA of those emotions, or to sweep those emotions or those seeds away. So if I take a jar and I fill it with seeds, उससे
So
कुछ
that
होगा क्या?
means इसका मतलब हुआ कि mind is the seed which has emotions, memory
No.
and energy.
No. Mind is the earth.
Mind is the earth.
Emotions are the seeds.
Okay, emotions are the seed. Okay. ठीक है, तो वो सीड को हम लोग जितना पानी डालेंगे उतनी एनर्जी उससे बाहर निकलेगी. अगर हम लोग नेगेटिव,
पहले तो आपने सो कर दिया. यदि माइंड में डाल दिया तो आपने सो कर दिया. अब आप उसमें पानी भी डालोगे, फर्टिलाइजर भी डालोगे तो और अच्छे से उगेगा वो. So the best way to deal with negativity, negative emotions, is to become aware कि ये negative emotion चल रहा है मेरे अंदर. Now, the moment you become aware of your negative emotions, it will not be able to take root in the mind, because the moment you shine the light, the sun, यदि किसी बीज के ऊपर ज्यादा सूर्य की रोशनी गिर जाएगी तो थोड़े दिनों बाद वो सीड यूजलेस हो जाएगा. यदि किसी सीड को आप keep it out in the sun for some time. If there's enough sunlight on that seed, most seeds will not be able to sprout after that, because sun has done some change over there. So your awareness is like that sun. You are cleansing whatever memory is there in that seed, you are cleansing it. So now it is not going to function or be able to affect you in the way that it does otherwise.
Sir, sometimes we used to think that these things are wrong or bad habits, but we can't stick to you can say stick to good habits. We know that we are doing the wrong, but we are not
इतना
able to handle that.
इतना जंपिंग क्यों करते हो आप? एक एक से शुरू करो ना.
Okay, okay.
एक समय जो इमोशन है उस पे अवेयर आ जाओ. Why jump into all your 100 and 1,000 and million emotions? एक को डील करो ना. You become aware of your negative emotion.
Yeah.
Keep your awareness on that. खत्म बात, end of story. कल क्या होगा कल देखना आप.
Okay.
अभी आपका negative emotion. See, remember, now is the moment of power. Whatever you can do, you can only do now. You cannot do it yesterday. You cannot do it in the next moment. जो करना अभी ही कर सकते हो. This is the moment of your path. So if you use the present moment in the best way, in the most effective way, your life will obviously give you superb results. So the moment you are becoming aware of that negative emotion inside you, so these negative emotions, I think of them like a engine. वो अंदर अंदर में चलते रहता है. चिंता चल रही, एक तरह की चिंताइश emotion is working inside. It's generating its own energy. My thoughts are moving in that direction, my actions are moving in that direction, so my whole impact, my whole life is basically being channeled by that emotion, which is worrying on. जैसे एक मशीन की तरह घूम 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 करके भीतर भीतर में चल रहा है, एयर कंडीशनर की तरह. So when you become aware कि मेरी ये ऐसी इमोशन चल रही है, तो you just become aware. करना कुछ भी नहीं है कि ये चल रही है. So when you shine the light of awareness, थोड़ा थोड़ा उसमें चेंज होना शुरू होगा. It will not be able to affect your new thoughts or new energy in the same way that it was able to do it earlier. तो शुरू करिए इतने से. Bring your awareness that I am being in, I am this way. This is what is going on inside me, and change it. Anyway, अपना मेन चीज तो breath work है. Let's continue with our breath work. Okay. Once
No,
again.
no, no. Finish this now, Rajesh ji, because this is what I was working on since morning today, since like 3-4 days. 2 minute लगेगा. Please इसको finish कर दो ना.
Sir, yeah, I am also having some problem because from last 2 or 3 years, I am not continue to my routine. I used to wake up early at 3:30 and everything. I am a working woman and I am also studying. I am doing my research work, but I am not. I used to think so much, but I'm not able to do things in my life. You can say continuously or regularly. Means I am not punctual to do all the things on the time. That's why my subconscious mind think that I am doing the wrong things, but I'm not able to continue in a particular direction. That's the main problem.
Overactive mind. An overactive mind will generate emotions. Emotions will generate more activity in the mind. They will feed into each other. Ego will take great advantage. Ego drama करेगा. क्या ड्रामा करेगा ईगो? उसने मेरे साथ ऐसा किया, उसने मेरे साथ खराब किया, मैं तो पुअर मी, माय लाइफ इज सो बैड, पीपल ट्रीट मी दिस वे, पीपल ट्रीट मी दैट वे, मैं तो इतना अच्छा हूं, लोग मेरे साथ इतना बुरा क्यों करते हैं, जज दैट पर्सन, जज दिस पर्सन. यही चलता रहेगा बस. यही तो चाहिए ईगो को. दैट इज व्हाट द ईगो वांट्स. सो योर ईगो इज पुटिंग यू इनटू अ सिंक होल. वो आपको डुबाते जाएगा. योर हायर सेल्फ विल कीप पुलिंग यू अप, बट यू हैव टू गिव एनर्जी टू योर हायर सेल्फ. हायर सेल्फ की आवाज बहुत सॉफ्ट होती है. कॉन्शियस बहुत सॉफ्ट आवाज होती है. अपन तो बेचारे का ऐसा गला घोटते बचपन में ही कि वो बेचारा फिर आगे बोल ही नहीं सकता. कुछ बोलता ही नहीं है बेचारा. गला घोट के हायर वॉइस की खत्म कर देते हैं अपनी. इसके बारे में कभी और बात करेंगे. लेट्स डू आवर कृष्णा's flute maneuver. Full slow deep breath. Full breath. Hold it for a moment. Allow the exhale through the dilation at the tailbone. All gone. Stop. Relax your belly. Continue with the dilation. Mooladhara 1. Mooladhara Swadhisthana. With the dilation. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 7. 8. So this is your Krishna's flute maneuver. I hope you've understood it. Just as in the hopping
मुझे
technique.
लग रहा था कि जैसे कि है ना यहाँ से ना कुछ रेड 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 है ना
रेड 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 आ रहा है कुछ तो ओके कई बार लोगों को ये कलर्स का महसूस होता है एंड द वे यू आर शोइंग इट feels like a certain vibration, so it is quite possible that your see red is the color of Mooladhara, so maybe your Mooladhara energy is moving upwards, possibly, I don't know. यदि जा रहा है तो कोई हर्ज नहीं है, no harm in that. Circulate होनी चाहिए energy. If your energy moves, if it circulates freely through your system, आपको ultimately बहुत अच्छे results मिलेंगे. Short term में there will be challenges because जो दबी हुई चीजें हैं, गड़ी चीजें हैं, if they come to the surface, पुरानी बातें याद आएंगी, guilt आएगा, shame आएगा, regret आएगा, deal with that.
आप
Remember,
बोल रहे हो कि आप
no
बोल
one
रहे हो
is
कि ये जो एनर्जी जो जा रही है उसको वापस अंदर लेके आनी चाहिए ऐसे
नहीं नहीं
it should
मैं नहीं आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट. आप अंदर की एनर्जी अंदर सर्कुलेट करो. जब आप ब्रीद इन करते हो उस समय आप विजुअलाइज कर सकते हो दैट यू आर ड्राइंग इन गोल्डन लाइट थ्रू द सहस्त्रार. ये आप विजुअलाइज कर सकते हो. So visualize golden light coming through the Sahasrara going all the way down to the Mooladhara. Excellent. The golden light is the light of the sun. तो अलग अलग लोग अलग अलग तरह की लाइट की बात करते हैं. आई एम हैप्पी विद द गोल्डन लाइट. इट इज द लाइट ऑफ द सन. So you draw in this energy, the golden light through the Sahasrara, let it go all the way down to your Mooladhara. Let it wash you inside and let it cleanse you inside. So continue with this process. सुषुम्ना को धीरे धीरे स्क्वीजिंग कर करके क्लेंजिंग कर लिया. Then your energy will move more easily. जैसे एनर्जी आपकी और इजीली मूव करेगी, your your expression, your understanding, your life will show different aspects of your being, better, easier. But challenges will keep coming. ये मैं आपको बार बार क्वेश्चन करता हूँ. Challenges will continue. Challenges are a part of life. अपन ने जो कुछ इतना अच्छा भी किया, गंडगोल भी किया, तो उसका कहीं ना कहीं कुछ तो खामियाजा भरना पड़ेगा ना, कहीं ना कहीं तो we have to pay the price ना. What is the price? See, karma is not about punishment. लोग बोलते हैं ना कर्मा है पनिश करेगा. Karma is not about punishment. Karma is about bringing awareness. Karma is about making you more aware of your higher self and leave the pull of your lower self. That is what the role of karma is. So we think of karma's thing as a punishment because अपन ने कहीं कुछ गलती कर दी है, तो there is a guilt consciousness and so on and so forth. तो जब वो आता है, awareness ले आइए, make up your mind कि ऐसा मौका फिर होगा. I am going to make a conscious choice not to do what I have done before. That's it. The moment you've done this, your karma will leave its hold on you for that thing. Its hold on other things will continue. But यदि आपके awareness में आई कि आपने कुछ गलती करी थी and you feel the pain that is coming up because of this, make that resolve, a genuine resolve. झूठ नहीं बोलना अपने आप से कभी. Genuine resolve कि ये मैं फिर कभी नहीं करूंगा या कभी नहीं करूंगी. If I'm in this situation with this awareness, I'm not going to let this happen to me again. If ever I'm doing anything, if ever I'm going in that direction, God give me strength. मेरे को ताकत दो, मुझे सहारा दो, हनुमान जी, कृष्ण जी, जो भी, to stop me from doing it. नाम ले लो उनका. भगवान तो हमेशा साथ देते हैं अपने. भगवान का नाम लेना is a very powerful आध्यात्मिक technique. So this is your Krishna's flute maneuver. थोड़ी देर और कर लीजिएगा because we've gone usually over time. We've gone 20 minutes over time. So I don't think I should hold you.
I find there is a lot of tremors inside which is happening.
Very excellent. जितना हिल जाओगे अच्छा. जितना हिल जाओगे अच्छा. But these are probably pleasant tremors. Because you are accessing your sushumna, so there must be a pleasantness to this tremor. Is that right?
Bit discomforting physically.
Discomforting. चलो वो भी अच्छा है, कोई बात नहीं. क्या? Tell me a little more about these tremors.
Huh?
Tell me a little more about these tremors that you are experiencing.
Physically, it's discomforting, and mentally, it's like going blank out.
Okay. So that means इसके पहले there have been certain thoughts or certain feelings that have been trying to come to the surface. आप उनको दबा रहे हो. So there is some aware, some emotion that was trying to rise to the surface. Something was trying to get your attention. आपने उसको दबाया है. या तो ये हुआ, ये हुआ होगा. Because very often we are unwilling to deal with the some of the things that we've done, some of the mistakes we've made. We are unwilling to deal with that because we don't want to take responsibility. What do? We'll blame everybody else. But life is not about that. Life is about taking ownership. Life is about taking responsibility. Life is not about blaming anyone or anything for anything. There is nothing in life for which you can blame anyone. Everything that we are going through is a continuation of something that has happened before. Please understand this. Everything that you are going through at a given moment is a continuation of something that has happened before. Reaction, counter reaction, counter reaction, counter reaction. ऐसा कुछ drama चला. So at one level you might think someone is to blame, but beyond that, if you go, our adhyatma, in our रामायण, महाभारत, राम कथा, इन चीजों का बहुत अच्छे से वर्णन आता है. They talk of how somebody was X and did something wrong, but before that he was wronged by you in this way, and before that he might have wronged you in that way. So this drama goes on. How do you change that drama? By breaking the chain today. आ गया, awareness आ गई, he is done. You feel that he has done me wrong. You bring your awareness to it. Say, ठीक है. Maybe he seems to have done wrong. Maybe I've done something to him in the past. Maybe there is a history behind that. Maybe there are reasons. I let it be. Forgive. Over. Bring your awareness. Let it pass. Tell yourself, if it comes up again, this is how you will deal with it. So tremors are probably something like this. You'll have to do the introspection. See, Santoshji, your hard work you'll have to do yourself. I'll give you whatever guidance I can, whenever I can.
Fine, yeah. Yeah.
Very good. Priyaji, I think you wish to say something.
जैसे संतोष जी ने बोला कि he feels something physically, not something disturbing. So it got me thinking that जैसे आपने बोला कि we are actually channelizing or maybe हम अपने चक्रास को थोड़ा shuffle कर रहे हैं, जो भी उनसे निचोड़ के बाहर निकाल रहे हैं चीज. तो isn't it quite natural, क्योंकि हमारी हर चक्रा जो 7 चक्रास है, हमारा हर चक्रा एक इमोशन या हमारा कुछ एक चीज डिनोट करता है, एक चीज होल्ड करता है. And our emotions, all kind of emotions get settled in those levels. Like Muladhara makes certain kind of emotions get settled, as I have read about things.
Yes.
So isn't it quite natural कि जब हम ये प्रोसेस करेंगे और हमारी एनर्जी चक्रास टू चक्रास मूव हो रही है, तो हमारे इमोशंस निकलना बहुत नेचुरल है. Sometimes we might fall into that trap of guilt, and sometimes we need to cry or without all the emotions we want to say something. And I have read somewhere that it is very it's not, of course it's not easy for everyone to handle their emotions, and not everybody is capable enough, so we seek some help from experts from that field. So it is very important that we understand that emotion, and once we know what we are feeling, we can tame it. Like name it to tame it. It's like that. If you can name the emotion, you can tame the emotions. So if I know that I have this fear, if I know that fear is there, I can tame it, probably because I know it is fear. So I think that is what I can summarize in my head, what I was.
That's Santoshi. She has shared some valuable insights with you. I think Santoshi is a little overwhelmed at the moment, so he's not responding. But I think ठीक होगा Santoshi. Don't worry. Keep your awareness. डरने का नहीं है. Let it come. Let it come. जितना सी जितना आएगा उतना आप इससे जल्दी फ्री हो जाओगे. Is my voice reaching you?
It's now.
Yes,
I said thank you, but it was unmuted. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Right. So I think that's it for today. Do your practice a little more, especially the Krishna's flute maneuver. Do it with the huffing technique also. Do it with the complete yogic breath also. Tomorrow, थोड़ा थोड़ा इसको करेंगे, but tomorrow we'll focus on the third aspect of our kriya, which is basically built on anulom vilom or nadi shodhan. So it takes it even deeper and does a beautiful level of cleansing in the Sushumna in particular. So this is it for today. Any questions, any queries, anything, I'm always available. Send me a message. I usually answer quite fast. Sometimes there may be a delay. It doesn't matter. If you don't know my, who doesn't know my number? Does anyone not know my number? I'll just write it here.
sir, please give your email ID and number both, sir, if possible.
Yeah, email ID, I'll give it to you, but I'm not so much of an email person. But anyway, I'll give it to you. jack@gmail.com. Jack is the name I had to use when I was in China. I'm Rajesh otherwise, but I continue using that number. Yeah. So these are some of my contact info. You may use this. And कोई भी question होगा, by all means भेज दीजिएगा मेरे को. आज फिर से ये वाला पूरा कर लीजिएगा. If not everything, at least do the Krishna's flute maneuver. It's a very powerful technique, works directly on your Sushumna. Therefore, do it with your huffing technique, do it with your complete yogic breath. One more thing about the complete yogic breath, on its own, without the Swaskosh elements, even then, this complete yogic breath is a very powerful technique. कोई भी कभी cough, cold हो रखा है, your breathing is heavy, you are not able to breathe well. If you do about 15 cycles of the complete yogic breath, full breath in, allow the exhale from the lowest portion up along the spine, repeat this 15 times, you will breathe better, you will sleep better. तो घर में किसी बच्चे को या किसी और को कोई भी तरह की प्रॉब्लम है, they are not sleeping well or they are not breathing well for any reason, show them this complete yogic breath, let them do the breath work, and they'll be able to at least get a good breath so that they can sleep well. Very important, very useful. Try it whenever you catch a cold, whenever you feel some difficulty with your breath. And raat ko, I know how difficult it becomes if you have a cold and you're not able to sleep because of the blocked nose. It's very painful. So you know what to do. There's too much disturbance. Anyway, I think we'll stop for today. Thank you. Yeah, sorry, I muted everybody. Thank you very much. And I will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Namaste. Have a beautiful day.